Hello friends, welcome to our channel Knowledge Amplified. So today in this particular video, I am going to discuss dynamic resource path in API gateway and how to work with this. Okay, so like earlier in my previous video when I discussed about resource path, that time I have explained you like just for example www.google.com. This is basically our base URL suppose. Okay, then suppose I want to go to Google Maps, then what we do after the base URL we give one slash and then here we go to maps. Okay, that is acting like our resource path where our actual map information is stored, right? Like that way we have created several APIs with resource path, right? Now this one we generally use as static file, that is we are simply writing maps. Okay, but suppose this particular resource path is variable, then how to work with that? Let's try to understand. Okay, so maybe in certain scenario in your main URL itself, this kind of resource path value keep on changing. Maybe sometime it is 1, maybe sometime it is 2, maybe sometime it is 3, like that. Okay, so like just to give you one example, there is a website. I can show you the example in a very easy way with this website. So if I just go to this particular website, orangevalleyca.org, I will be providing the link of this website also in the description box so that you can also check. So here you can see this is one website, right? Then if you just add /API/music with this particular base URL as resource path, then here you will be seeing some data. Maybe it is dummy data or maybe some use of this data is there, but let's not focus on that. Currently we are seeing that if we are hitting this particular resource path, we are getting some API information, right? Now here you can see some ID column is there. Okay, so individual JSON element is basically for one ID, like from here to here this is for ID 1, then here it is for ID 2, like that. Okay, now suppose you want to get the data related to a particular ID, that also you can fetch, which is basically by giving this kind of resource path ID then /1. Okay, already they have built this particular API and created all these stuffs. So if I just apply ID equal to 1, it will be returning me the data related to ID equal to 1. Okay, maybe I can give ID here only in the resource path instead of 1, I'll be putting ID equal to 2, and then if I hit run, I think my internet went away. I connected back. Let's run it now. So here I will be getting the information related to ID 2. Maybe I can put ID 3. So like that, what we are doing in the resource path itself, we are changing the value, and that dynamically hitting the backend, and backend is returning the result set based on the ID whatever we are passing, corresponding to that whatever data is there, that only it is returned, right? Now how to implement this kind of architecture using API gateway? Let's try to understand that. Okay, so here I am in my AWS management console. All I will do, I will go to API gateway, and without any further delay, let us directly jump into the lab section or implementation section. So I'll be creating API. I am going with REST API. I'll build the API from scratch. REST API, new API. API name I can give dynamic resource path testing. Okay, this is suppose our API name. I will just create this API, right? Up to this, it is very simple. Now generally what we do, we just click on action and then we create some resource path. Under the resource path, we create get, post, put, etc. methods, right? Now here like resource name, I can put ID, what ID I want. Okay, now generally in resource path, we can put simply ID like we did in our earlier video. But this time what we want, this time we want that this value should be taken dynamically from our API, and in the backend it will hit this particular API and it will return the result. Okay, like that if we want, then dynamically it should be taking the resource path value. It is not a fixed, right? Sometimes it is 3, sometimes it is 2, sometimes it is 1, like that. So if you want to implement dynamic resource path, see here it is clearly written, you can add path parameter using brackets. So if you are adding dynamic resource path, you have to put this inside curly bracket. That's it. Okay, I will create the resource. That's pretty much it. Now our resource path is created. Instead of static value, currently we have kept dynamic, and then I will add method inside it like how we did in our earlier video. So currently we are just fetching some amount of data, so I can keep get method only as part of simplicity. Now this API what we are going to build, that internally in the backend will hit this particular URL, right? So what we will do, I will just copy this particular URL and this API what we are creating, that should hit that URL, right? So I'll be choosing HTTP integration, and see here it is clearly indicating what you have to do. First you have to give API endpoint.com, after that slash, then because we have created dynamic resource path, so we have to put that way, curly bracket open, then ID, then curly bracket close. So we'll just do that part. Here 3 is there at the end, I will just remove that, and I'll be putting curly bracket ID, curly bracket. Okay, it is all parts same. I will just save this one. Okay, so here our API is ready. All we'll do, we will deploy this API and test it. Okay, I will create a new stage for this API, maybe development environment, and we will deploy this API. Okay, so here we got our info keyword. Perfect. Okay, so I will be going to a new tab. I will paste our actual API what we just now deployed, and then I will put a slash. Maybe for ID 3 I want to get the data. So when we are hitting the URL, what is happening in the backend? It will take this ID and it will hit basically this particular address. Okay, here we have configured that instead of /3 we have given that this should be triggered, and this ID it should be taking the value from here. That's only change we did. Okay, so this is our actual URL which is returning this ID. Now let's run our API and let's see what data we are getting. Okay, see, we are getting basically same data only what we got from the actual API. Okay, like maybe here I can copy this particular value corresponding to file name original, and I can show you. So see, same value is coming. Actually all complete response itself is same. So I hope you understood how to pass dynamic resource path in API gateway. Okay, now let's see how we can read this kind of dynamic resource path value in our backend Lambda. Suppose for our this particular API, the backend is a Lambda function, and what we want, whatever we will be passing here, okay, as resource path dynamically, that the backend Lambda should consume and then it should process. Okay, that way if we want, then how to do that, let me discuss. Okay, so I'll be going back to API, right, and then here I will create a new API for them. I will go to REST API, and then here dynamic resource path Lambda. Okay, I'll create this API, and to make integration, let me open the AWS management console in a new tab, and let me create a very simple Lambda also. Okay, so I'll be going to Lambda, and here I'll be creating a function. I can give the name as dynamic path listing. Okay, and the runtime environment I am choosing Python 3.9, and then here I will create the function. Basically, whatever resource path dynamically we will be passing, we will try to capture that in our Lambda function. That's our goal. Okay, so let's see how to do that. Step by step I'll be going, no need to worry. And this concept is very important. Maybe many pipeline you can implement the same. So here some dummy code is there. I will just print the event. Okay, and I'll deploy this. So here our Lambda is successfully deployed. Perfect, right? Now I'll go back to our API gateway, and here I will create a resource path. So how I did, same way I'll be doing. So curly bracket open, ID curly bracket close, and I will create the resource path. And this time, instead of creating a HTTP integration, we are going to create Lambda integration. Okay, so we will create get or post, whatever you are comfortable. So I will just give get. Generally resource path, query string, etc. we use in get dynamically, so I'm using that Lambda, and then here I'll be taking my Lambda function name. I'll paste that here, and I will click on save. Okay, we want to give the permission, that is fine, and I will add that one. Okay, it's perfectly correct, it is working. Now what we will do, we will basically deploy our API. Okay, so we will deploy development environment only. So here we got our this particular API. Okay, this is a new API. To avoid confusion, let me close earlier windows, and I'll paste that new API here, and then here I will be passing a resource path value as 3. Okay, let's run this one and let's see what happens. We are getting status code 200 hello from Lambda. From where it is coming? from this lambda, the return statement is written in that. Okay. So now let's see in CloudWatch how the data is coming. Okay. So we'll go to monitor section, and here I will click on view logs in CloudWatch, and let's see. So this is the log, and here you see the event is coming as empty data. That is curly bracket open, curly bracket close. No data is there, right? So in this way, what we followed, we are not able to capture the resource path whatever we are passing in our API. Okay, but we have to capture that. So what to do? Obviously, we are missing some steps. So that steps we have to follow. Okay. So for this purpose, we have to go to resource path, and then here this is our get method, right? Now here we are passing this ID in our method request. Okay, it is taking that, but we have to tell API gateway that that particular stuff it should pass to Lambda also, and for that it should be passing that to integration request. It should be sending that here, and that part we have not configured. That's why it is not coming. Okay, so we will do that. I will go to integration request, and now here what I will do, I will go to mapping template, and here I will just add a mapping template. Okay, here see it is coming in a little bit hazy way, application/JSON. I'll be writing that, and then here I will just click on check, and I will click on yes, secure this, and then here general template already AWS is giving you. No need to worry. Actually, the code is written in Apache Velocity. It is a beautiful programming, but maybe in some other video I can discuss about this. Currently, let's just use whatever AWS has given to us, and let's try to utilize those resources. Okay, I will just click on save. Okay, once it is saved, now if we hit our this particular stuff, what will happen in the event, whatever will trigger the lambda, there we can see in the event as dictionary, there in some particular value we'll be seeing the resource path. Okay, so all we need to do, we need to redeploy the API. Okay, whenever we are making some changes, we have to deploy. Okay, and then we have to wait little bit because this update takes some amount of time. So after few seconds, we can again hit our this particular API, and then we can check in our CloudWatch how it is reflecting. Okay, so let's hit the API now, and let's see the CloudWatch logs. Again, we are getting same response. That's fine because we have not changed our lambda. I'll just refresh this one, and here in the logs I'll be going here. See, here CloudWatch log is coming, and this time we are getting lot of information. All I will do, I will copy this particular data, and I will paste in JSON formatter to look into this properly. Okay, so here see body JSON coming, and then here parameters coming. Inside parameter, here see path value ID3 coming. So whatever in the dynamic resource path we are sharing, that one is captured here in the params key, then in the path key, then in the ID. Okay, here query string also there. Anyway, in our get method we have not passed any query explicitly as of now, but I will show you how to do that also. Okay, so maybe what I can do, I can show you first the usage of the resource path. Okay, so suppose this lambda has taken that particular parameter, and maybe I want to process something, so I can write a simple message. The resource path is, and then here I can pass the resource path. Okay, how I will pass? So here you can see first the data is present in event, which is our main dictionary, and inside that params is there, and inside params it is basically path, and inside path it is ID, right? Like that way we can do. Okay, and then I can return this message. That's it, and I'll deploy this. Cool. Our API is deployed. Here integration is not showing. Let me just refresh this page. Maybe API trigger is not showing now. So currently it is showing, right? It is perfect. I will just hit the same, and here we are getting some key error. The resource path format, I think I have given wrong value. So first it is event. Let me minimize this one, and then here inside, so outer dictionary is event, then here it is basically params, and inside params we are having path. Inside path we are having ID. Okay, so the mistake is here I have not given the quotation. Sorry for this. Let me just run this again. Okay. Now it should work. See, the resource path is 3. Maybe I can put 5 and see the resource path is 5. So now we have seen how to consume the dynamic resource path in our Lambda. Okay, and as you know that generally in get method, if we have to send some amount of data, then we can pass with query string, which I have explained already while explaining the HTTP API also, right? So if you check this particular log here, you can see query string is also there. So like the same way you can pass the query string also. Let me show you one demo. Maybe I can pass question country equal to India. Okay, so this is the query we are passing. So let me run that. I am getting same response, but I can show you in CloudWatch. So let me go to the latest log, and here this is the latest log. See, query string country India is coming. So even I can consume this particular query string also. Okay, let me show you that. So maybe I can write I love my, and then here how query string is coming inside params, and then directly query string is there, right? So we'll be taking that. I will deploy this again. I'm sorry, Python code. And now here let's run this one and see I love my country. Okay, like that it is coming. So here what we have to do, we have to take the country also as key, right? I will redeploy, and then here I will run this one. Okay, so I love my India, it is coming. Okay, but in this particular case, it is not necessary that we need to pass this particular query string parameter, right? Maybe if I don't pass, then also the backend code will work if I am not using this kind of message. Maybe suppose I am returning only hello. Okay, just consider suppose I am returning only hello, and then suppose I am passing the query string parameter, then here I am getting some error. Let me check. Print event return hello. What is the error it is showing? Runtime syntax error. End of line. Print event. Let me just run this again. See, we are getting hello, right? So the thing is, here currently we are passing the query string parameter, then we are getting the response. And suppose I'm not passing the query string parameter, only passing the resource path, then also I'll be getting the response, right? Because we have created our API such that it is not 100% compulsory that we need to pass query string, right? Sometimes we face this situation where we need to pass the query string, else the API should not work. So if you want that kind of stuff, then what you can do, you can go to your resource, and then here you can go to your method, and here method request, here you can get URL query string parameter, right? So here you can mention that country is the query string which we must have to pass. I will just click on that, and see here required is coming, so you have to click on that. Okay, as soon as you are clicking on that, it will ensure that this country query string must come with the API, otherwise it will not allowed to go to Lambda. From the API gateway itself, it will return back that see this is not a valid request. Okay, and as soon as we are checking this particular check, here one error is coming which is showing you have marked some query string parameter as required, but the request validated assigned to this method is not configured. What is request validated? That is basically this one. Here currently it is none. We have to change this one to validate query string parameter. So if we check that one, and then if we deploy our API, first API gateway will check whether country query string is there or not. If it is there, then only it will send to backend Lambda, or else from the API gateway itself it will send that it is not a proper request. It is expecting country as query string, but you have not passed. Okay, So that kind of stuff we will do here now. So I will just deploy this API in development environment only. To update again, it will take some couple of seconds. We have to wait a little bit, and then if we run this particular API, or if we hit this particular API again, we should directly see error that query string is not there. Once we put the query string, then only it will become further valid. Okay. So in this video, we have learned how to pass dynamic resource path, how to work with dynamic resource path, how to work with query string in get method for REST API, and also we have seen how to consume that in backend Lambda and work with that. Okay. I hope these concepts are very useful to you. So I will run this. As of now, I am getting the response because it is taking, as I told you, right, that it might take some couple of seconds to update. So see, if I am hitting again, it is saying missing required request parameter country. So it is expecting country. Without country, how many times you are hitting your API does not matter, it will not allow. Okay. As soon as you pass your country equal to India or something, then it will return. Whatever query string you are comfortable, that you can pass. And that way you can make a complete REST API with get method also. Okay. I hope you understood this. This is all for this video. If you find this video helpful, then please like, share and comment. Subscribe our channel if you have not subscribed till now. And don't forget to press the bell icon to get the notification of our latest videos. Thank you.